Here's what's going to happen. I am going to have to fix you, manage you on a more personal scale, a more micro form of management. Jim, what is that called?
Microagement?
Boom. Yes. Now, Jim is going to be the client. Dwight, you're going to have to sell to him without being aggressive, hostile, or difficult. Let's go.
All right, fine. Ring, ring. Hello?
Hello, this is Dwight Schrute from the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company.
Wow, that's great, because I need paper.
Excellent, then you are in luck because we are having a limited time offer only on everything.
Wow, this is my lucky day.
Ask him his name.
What is your name, sir?
I am Bill Buttlicker.
Really, that's your real name?
How dare you? My family built this country, by the way.
Be respectful, Dwight, please.
Yes, Michael.
Could you hold on 1 second? That's my other line.
What? No, but I...
Hello? Yeah. No, I'm just on the phone with this stupid salesman. He's so dumb. Probably just gonna keep him on the line forever and not buy anything. Okay.
It's up to you to change his mind.
Sorry, that was a family emergency.
Oh, no, what's wrong?
You know what? That's private.
Boundaries, Dwight, come on.
I'm sorry, Mr. Buttlicker. As I was saying,
Son,
we're
you
having
just
a
have to
limited...
Speak up a little bit louder. I'm hard of hearing.
He's hard if he's an old man.
Okay, as I was saying, right now
Yeah,
we
you
are
gotta
having...
talk louder.
Okay, our prices have never been lower.
Son, you have to talk louder.
Never been lower.
Louder, son!
Buttlicker, our prices have never been lower.
Okay, stop it. That is totally inappropriate. You never yell at the client.
Now,
Never
you listen to
yell at the
me,
client.
sir.
Here we go.
The 3 words I would describe you as is aggressive,
Yes.
hostile, and definitely difficult.
Give me the
Please,
phone.
Mr. Buttlicker.
I'm
Give me the
irate
phone.
right
Give
now.
me the phone.
Please give me
He's
another
irate.
chance.
Give me the phone.
Mr. Buttlicker.
Give me the phone.
I have to put you on with my boss.
Well, I should hope so. Who is this?
Hello, this is Michael Scott, regional manager.
Well, this is William M. Buttlicker.
Hello, Mr. Buttlicker. How may we help you?
Michael, I like the sound of your voice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy $1 million worth of paper products today.
See how it's done? Thank you very much, sir. I don't think you'll regret it. See what I did?
You're the master.
There is one condition, Michael.
Yes.
You have to fire the salesman that treated me so terribly.
Don't do it, Michael.
It's $1 million sale.
All
I can't
money.
hear. All about the money.
Show me the money.
So how you doing today, Keith?
I'm a 2 of these in kind of day. Other than that, pretty good. I got lots of moving parts. I got a guy in the States picking things up for me. I'm working at my new store, the Waxshine Canada, where we sell and detail cars, sell detailing products and detail cars here. We also distribute this product across Canada as the sole distributor authorized to sell this stuff in Canada. My other companies, Sounds Good 1, 2, and 3, because it's easier to say it that way, are busy doing stuff. Some people are on vacation, but we're booked up and booked up and booked up, and that's why I can be here, not there. Yes, that's
Which is
with a lot of
which
questions.
is part of our topic of conversation today.
Yep.
So
And you? How are you, James?
I am doing well.
Consider-
Yeah, I had an angry day today, but that's all right.
Can you do
There's my
like
first one.
Can you do like Angry Birds and like fuck people shit up?
No, I get in trouble. Probably get
Oh.
arrested for that.
Oh, not in my country. You gotta don't do it again.
Oh, that's what you get here now. Anything you do, but
Yeah.
so.
Just
Well,
tell
it's
me-
good to be back,
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a long
and
while.
yeah, at least 5 weeks. Because I went on vacation maybe 6 weeks ago. I think Thursday 6 weeks ago.
Hmm.
So maybe 6 weeks.
That sounds about right. It's end of June, middle of May, something like that. Yeah.
I am pulling us up so I can read the comments.
Oh, okay. I think the last time I was on vacation.
Yeah, New York, right? Or did I just
Uh,
talk to you then?
No, I was in Yellowstone.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh,
I remember. Yeah, I don't know why I said New York, but
because that's where it's at. And
so
last time we saw you, you were doing stuff for your company, doing stuff for your life, and then there was some change. Do you want to talk about it?
yeah, so um, I think a lot of people know at this point. Um, so it's tough to say it a lot of times. I feel like I'm dropping bombs on people. Um, but um, I went to Orlando Knowledge Fest and I spoke Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I left Knowledge Fest and I went to Disney World with my family, and we had a fantastic time. And we came back. We flew back late Thursday, got home early Friday morning, like just after midnight, so to speak. Um, and Saturday morning, actually Saturday afternoon, I'd say midday. We don't exactly know. My wife passed away. Um, so that was a devastating find, and I couldn't go to work. Um, there was no way I would have been able to, even if I wanted to. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't concentrate. My mind was a blur. You know, it was really hard, and I had a lot of shit to take care of. Unbelievable amount of stuff to take care of, and I'm fortunate that I was able to build up my company, and they did a phenomenal job without me. And one thing I can say is a lot of times people say, you know, when you leave your company, you come back and you find your loophole or loopholes. Is that the right word?
No,
Your,
deficiencies.
yeah, you know you find where you got problems or whatever. So I come back 4 weeks later with almost no contact with my store, and I said, "What do you guys need from me?" That was like one of the first things I said when I walked in. I said, "What do we need? Catch me up. Where are we going? Whatever." And he goes, "I just need to know where you order these three parts from." And to me, that was kind of a victorious moment that I have a great store and a great staff that I don't have to be at anymore. And all the hard work I put in is paid off. And I was able to stay home and take care of myself and meet myself where I needed to be. I didn't have to force myself to go to work, you know, or close my store because I couldn't work.
And that's why we're on this conversation today.
Right.
So, first of all, I'm really sorry for your loss. I couldn't imagine.
Thank you.
I didn't even know what to say in the beginning. I'm glad we had that heart to heart chat during your sensitive times, and looking forward to more of that. But I'm also grateful that you have staff that you can trust in order to take care of the things that need to be taken care of. So your customers are happy and your bank is happy and everybody's happy.
Because at the end of the day, what would have happened, so if this happened to me 3 years ago when I didn't have my SOP and I didn't have my core values and my policies and, you know, this amazing staff that I have now, it would have been, you know, really one of, I think, two things. You know, I would have shut down my store and not got a paycheck, temporarily shut down,
Mm.
or I would have forced myself to go back to work and I wouldn't have allowed myself the proper grievance. And that's internally a problem that you have to deal with, you know. And even if, say, we did go back to work, I don't think I would have been able to. There's a deer running in the backyard.
Nice.
um
One?
I don't think I would have been able to, because actually it's a baby deer. So anyway, sorry, I don't think I would have been able to because I couldn't even talk to people. I couldn't talk to people without getting upset. I couldn't focus. Even one of the biggest things is I did go back week 3. I went back, I walked in, I answered a phone call. They said customer was complaining that his trunk pop didn't work from his key fob and how much of an inconvenience to his life it was. And I literally got off that phone call and I said, I can't do this. And I went home, you know, um, and I stayed home for another week. And now I've been working, I've been back to work, but I've been back to work on my time and my schedule.
Good.
So, which is very little.
Yeah. So did you alienate that customer first before you hung up?
No, no,
Uh,
here's the thing. At the end of the day, maybe that was his biggest problem in his life at that moment, and it was an inconvenience. And just because I had bigger problems that were way bigger of an inconvenience, um, it's not fair for me to judge him in that moment.
no, but
So,
you're probably emotionally unhinged to a degree. And so I would have expected something like, hey, you can't pop your trunk with your key? Holy fuck. Do you have a key? Like,
well,
go
I'll tell you what, I did have a guy apply for a job, and I reached out to him. I was in Disney. I reached out to him. We talked, and I ended up messaging him after I got back, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm really sorry. I have to put the hiring on hold. Blah blah blah." And I didn't tell him what happened. Right? I don't want to just blurt this out to everyone. Well, I do, but he can't.
not
And
the, yeah.
so the guy messaged me back, kind of nasty. Why even bother reaching out? Da 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 da. And I kind of unhinged on him, and I said, "Well, I'm sorry, my fucking wife died, and I have to put my hiring on hold because I can't deal with taking care of that right now because I got bigger things to take care of. Also, I didn't tell you I wasn't going to meet with you. I said I'm temporarily putting it on hold, and I hope he felt like a dick.
Maybe he could say something here today. Whoops. Yeah. People are self-centered to a degree, right? I mean, we all are. I was at Costco yesterday, and just this guy, we're all in this line, and he decides to go this way, and it's like, what the fuck? So I rolled my window down, much to my wife's chagrin, and I said, "Hey, you self-centered prick, think about it next time. There's traffic." I did not get brownie points for that one,
No,
but I felt, it needed to be said because what the fuck? What's wrong with people, right?
sometimes people need to be checked, and I deal with that with customers in my store. Sometimes you gotta kind of check them in their place and not be rude to them. Well,
Well, that was
it
rude.
depends, but you can do it to your customers in your store without being rude
Yeah, I'd
and
prefer
being
not.
assertive. So, and sometimes people need that little extra love.
Mhm. Yes, they do. And sometimes it's
So,
me because I don't really understand what I'm doing. And so if somebody says, "Hey, you ignorant prick, what's your problem, you self-centered bastard?" I was like, "Oh, you're right. My bad."
um, so I
Getting back
guess
on
to
track.
go back to, I guess this is why we do these. Um, I was going to say weekly, but we try to do it weekly. These little um, lives to help educate other people in the industry that are stuck working in their business on why it's so important to get out of that role and work on your business. And we got an example right now, Brandon Green. Uh, he broke his ankle or something. He
He
fucked
messed it
something
up.
up,
Yeah.
and he can't work. And fortunately, he's done the same. He's put in the policies and procedures, and he isn't worried. But if he was in that boat where a lot of people are, they are the sole source of labor or sales in that store. You're you're going to be SOL if something like that happens to you. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is it will happen to you at some point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Most likely. You know,
So
I
what are
mean,
you
I
gonna
never
do?
thought I would be a widower, out of all the things in the world. And here I am, crap.
Yeah. Probably a little more than
So,
crap, but I hear what you're saying. So expect the unexpected and prepare yourself for it is the basic topic of this.
yeah. So And here's another one.
Mm.
If you want to make, so besides what this part, if you want to make more money and say open up a detail shop, you have to do that to your store. So now you're collecting income from your 3 stores that are
Mhm.
running themselves while you're venturing out in a new venture to collect more money.
Yeah.
So there's a million reasons on why people should be working on this every day.
Yeah. And
Um,
at 57 years old, a lot of people are winding down. As I'm going to go retire pretty soon. It's like, you know what? I have all this energy, and I just want to make it so that when I do run out of energy, I just want to have a nice soft cushion. That's all. I want to help a
but
lot of
here,
people along the way, grow some things, have a legacy.
but you're also allowing yourself to take the vacations you want, to live your life, and hey, in a few years you can semi-retire and you've established these right now 4 businesses, maybe more,
Mhm.
um, that you can, I mean, you could probably fully retire unless someone run it and you just check in at some point, but whatever you want to do, you can make that decision. You're not forced to be in that position all the time.
No. So the ebook, E-Myth book talks about owning your own business, which means that, owning your own job, which means that you have to be there. There is no other way. You have to be there in order to run things, which is fine for a lot of people. But if you want to own your own business, you have to put things into place so that people understand what's possible and what's not, so that they can do what you need to have done. If they can do what you need to have done, then you can trust them to do that. Then you can step away and do other things and grow in areas that you, like yourself, in personal growth that you wouldn't normally have time for.
Correct. So I got 2 things. So one, I think it was from eMyth too. They said that one day you're going to sell your business, and you're either going to sell it to someone or you're going to sell it to yourself, right? And selling it to yourself is essentially retiring and collecting money. Um, but you have to do the stuff that we preach in this group to get there.
Right.
The
Well, there's a third
second
option.
one,
The third option is you just walk away and don't sell it to anybody and try and sell the products yourself online or something because you can't afford the rent anymore or you can't keep employees, so you have to do it all yourself. And so walking away from it is you stop paying rent, you take all your shit away, and you sell it as soon as you can. That was an option for some other people that I saw.
yeah.
That's a shitty one.
So it looks like our live isn't live.
It says live 1816
Yeah, I'm looking on
Facebook.
where's the camera?
No, it says we're live.
So we'll see. Worst case, we just repost it. I forget the second half of that, but um, oh,
3 weeks
so
to get rid of your business.
well, no, it wasn't get rid of your business. It was just a different thing. The other thing that I learned for my business, at least, is as I stepped out of those roles, I actually made more money. So the first role I stepped out of was technician, and I still, right, I still go in and work on stuff and help when I want. But the first role I stepped out of was technician, and I became a salesperson. And what happened is when I finally created what I needed for the salesperson role and I passed that off to someone else, I made more money. And I believe the reason why is because when I was the owner, installer, and salesperson, and the toilet had to be cleaned and whatever else had to be done, when I was working with my customer, that's what I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about the customer. I was thinking about wrapping up the conversation and getting back in the garage or getting to the paperwork or cleaning the toilet bowl or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
And my sales guy now is dedicated. That's his only job. And he focuses on the customer. He gives the customer the time. And even if you think you're giving the customer the time, subconsciously you're not 100% there if you're a multi-hat person. That's my opinion.
True.
And the other part is being outside of that role I'm able to help coach that role to make him a better salesperson. So now I got a guy in my store that I trust doing the job perfectly and better than I ever did it.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we have ideas as the owners, as the entrepreneurs, but the people we hire, they a lot of times have way better ideas. Like my guys, I really love my guys. They do so many cool things for me and for themselves and for the rest of the company. Like it's just, it's a family oriented system, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah. No, it's you know, I think one of the best things I ever did, especially in the sales role, um, getting out of that and passing that off to someone else.
Hmm.
So you need to know enough to be able to do it if you need to, but you shouldn't be doing it if you're a business owner.
So they in that book, it asks two questions that are really pertinent to this conversation. One, what can they do that you don't have to, so you free up your time? And what is your special skill that you absolutely have to do? Once you know what that special skill is, you need to train them on how to do that so you can walk away.
Right. Um, Shit, I was gonna say something and I forgot twice and remembered twice. Um, yeah, it'll come back to me the third time. I'll write it down this time.
Okay.
So, how do you do it? We can kind of glaze through that, but it's building the policies. It's building the policies, the core values, and core values are important because it helps your team to make decisions based on your values. Like, does this decision align with our company's values? And that's why those things are important. You're hiring and firing, and you're going to have a better team. Um, in the past, I would just hire people, and it was a struggle because you don't know what you're getting, right? And if we're opposites, we're going to fight, we're going to butt heads, and it's going to cause more problems. So by hiring with core values, you're increasing your chances of a similar like-minded person to be in your store, and you're going to work together much better. So SOP, core values. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but just
Policies and procedures. So one of the things I just did recently for this company is I went to Chat GPT and I typed in policies and procedures for a detail company. I typed in SOP for a detail company, and they were generic, but they helped me to start with a good base. What's first? What's next? What comes down the line after that? And I put in my own spin on it, and it was done in minutes. It was so
yeah.
fast. Remember that back in the day, James, we had to figure it out ourselves, and we just this doesn't work. We put this in, see what happens. We bring the team together. And say, is this going to work? And it was just a guess. But now man, it changes everything. It's so easy.
There's really no excuse to not have this stuff in your company nowadays, especially with Chatbot GPT. I mean, I've used it a bit, and it's amazing. And I learned, and I haven't figured out how to do it, but you can actually feed Chatbot GPT information to tailor it to your company
Yeah.
or your lifestyle, and it learns you to spit out more things for you. So it's an amazing program.
It is until it turns into
kinda
a Terminator.
Yeah,
Kill
it's
it.
kind of scary. It's kind of scary how amazing it is.
Yeah. Skynet.
Also, videos. You can use videos for policies and procedures. And that's a big one. Like, I use loom.com, or just record videos on your phone or if you're doing something. I think a lot of us in this industry, we overcomplicate things and we make things harder than they need to be. And one thing I was talking with someone yesterday about is like salesperson, right? So as a technician, I go out on that sales floor as a salesperson, and I complicate the shit out of it because I know that there's so many variables and cars are different. But at the end of the day, just sell a system. I've created now packages in my store, level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. And obviously we can cater and adjust, but it makes it so that we can just sell a package. This is going to give you, this and this much base. And we don't have to worry about at that moment what size speakers and what speaker spacers and all this other stuff. It allows us to focus on the sale and move forward. It also allows me to get someone in there with very little experience to sell easier, because they can now sell the package to the customer, and then on their time with help they can figure out what it needs.
Simple is good. I like simple.
Yeah. So my sales guy doesn't really use the packages because he's, got it pretty nailed down, but they're there. If someone, if I hire someone that has got no experience, they're there. My checklist, all that stuff. So
Nice. It's important to keep things simple. So we hired this woman for our Vernon location, not Vernon, Connecticut, but in BC, Canada, and she'd never been in a car stereo store before. Her boyfriend is one of my installers, and she just seemed to have a really good personality. So I said, "Hey, do you want to work with your boyfriend?" No, fiance. And she's like, "Okay." She was a server, and so I correlate a lot of the skill sets that she had as a server into what we're doing here. It sounds good, so that she can make things easier for her, right? So servers, would you like another highball with that, sir? Or that kind of thing. Add on sales, that kind of stuff. And I love that correlation. It just makes things so much easier for both of us.
yeah, no, it's simplifying. And so the other thing I've learned is simplifying, but also within reason, adjusting to your employees, right? So I used to try to force my employees to adjust to my store, and I learned it's got to be the other way around, right? Within reason. I mean, you can't like go out and fucking revamp your store for an employee, but you got to make things easy for that employee so that they can execute it the way their brain works and come out with the same results that you're looking for from that, whatever it is. So a lot of my SOPs, because a lot of times, like, when I started doing it, I'm like, every job's different. There's no way I could do that. But it's not about the details of the job. It's the end product, right? As stupid as it is, in my SOPs, you must have 4 screws in every speaker installed, because I've seen people do it with 3 screws, and I don't want that in my store.
I've seen one with one recently.
I've seen them with 1 too, but I want 4 screws. I want my grounds for remote starters, pin 4 of the OBD in the kick or a factory ground. I don't want them anywhere else, because it is rare, but I have seen problems from it. So things like that. And it's how I want the end outcome of that job to look for that customer. And, like, I want the antennas in the center of the windshield. I don't want them off to the side or cockeyed or down in the corner. Obviously there's rare situations, but I want them in the center of the windshield. And that's where all my employees know to put them.
Good. Uniformity. It's important.
So when that customer calls back later on,
yeah,
you can say, well, if you look at the center of your windshield, there's going to be a little, whatever it is.
button.
The light. You tell them the light. You don't tell them there's a button there.
Okay.
All right. And that's same with the checklist. That's why I created those checklists. And
Right.
whatever.
So we keep it simple. We keep it uniformed, and we keep it available for all of our employees to see what the next protocol is if they're ever confused.
Right. And then I think I've talked to you about in the past. I was creating an app.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever talk to you about that?
Yeah, you started to. Did it come through?
Yeah. So it's been in beta, and I approved it. So it's going to go live, and I'm going to officially start testing it.
Nice.
Because the beta, it's not easy to use live. So, but we did some practice runs of things. But it's that quality control. So I'm going to take the job, like a radio install, and I have a list of things that I require from a radio install. Like a simple one is I want to make sure that you zip tie that microphone wire up underneath the dash above the gas pedals. You know, because I've seen cars come. That's a dangerous situation. That has to be done. And flush cut.
Mhm.
You know, so the little things like that. So that's going to be on my checklist. So when they were done with the job, bang, bang, bang. You know, does the microphone work? Does the USB work? All those little things. Now, if that customer comes back and that wire's dangling and they couldn't hit their brake, I say, Mr. Tech, why did you check that off? And you can hold people accountable. Because right now, if I don't have it, I go back there and say, hey, man, this happened. You're like, oh, shit, I forgot. And it's harder to be mad at someone. But if they say they did it and they didn't, it's, different story.
So how often do you spot check?
Not often is enough.
We just came back from that thing, but do you have your guys spot check the other guys every once in a while?
So we do. So every job that's done in my store, a second technician has to look it over
Oh,
before it leaves the garage, because we're human. We forget things.
yes.
And so every job has to have a second tech look it over. They used to initial. Now we use it all digital, but they write down who looked it over, and then the sales guy looks it over. But the sales guy looks it over when it's completed. So he's just looking at the cosmetics, making sure, the rubbers are put back in 100% or whatever it is.
Rubber?
The seals. So, I do have a new tech that we were training and we just released him, but we're not spot checking. We are checking every single job he does thoroughly. Before you put anything back together, we need to come look at it. And I'm having my other tech look at it, to make sure that the jobs are good. And this guy's he's a 20-year veteran. He started in 2003. He's a great installer. He does a great job. All of his work's been great so far. But I want to make sure that my end product is consistent. So we need to make sure he's doing what we want.
It's funny you bring that up. We're in the midst of hiring people for this new adventure that we're doing. And so one lady's been doing detailing for a number of years. And I was here last night doing some stuff. And I said, this is what I did. Can you tell me where I made mistakes, please? And she's like, no, I don't want to. I feel uncomfortable. It's like, we're a team. If you don't tell me where I've made mistakes, I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be the person that I could be. Why would you take that away from me?
No, I do that with my employees too. I be open to feedback when they have it, so that they're not afraid to give me feedback, because at the end of the day, that's what makes all of us better. And as a boss, and in the boss role, it makes a better work environment.
Fortunately, you're not a boss. You're a leader. I know
Yes,
that.
a leader. Yeah, but that's why I'm a leader, because I listen to my employees, what they need, and I will, adjust. So there was a time where I was asking to have things done and I was coming across abrasive, and my employees brought it to my attention, and
Good.
I went, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. And I fixed it, and so I keep that open book so that they're not afraid to come to me and I can fix it and be that better leader. So I also meet with them monthly,
Nice.
and we talk. I ask them if they need anything from me, and I try to be an open book. So
So you take them out for dinner and stuff, or just meet with them like at work or what?
just at work. So I've thought about the whole dinner thing, and maybe in the future. Right now, it's hard enough to get as stupid as it sounds, it's hard enough to get that one meeting in.
I hear it. So the reason I take them out is because they're not in the same dynamic that they are when we're in the shops together. So we have a different dynamic. We have a group meeting at a restaurant or something, and we hang out. We discuss openly and freely what's going on, what we can do to make it better, and put plans in place to make that happen.
Store meetings.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I do quarterly meetings at this point. I do big meetings quarterly. We were doing a monthly, and it was just we decided to go to quarterly. Our team discussed it. We still meet weekly and we touch base quickly, but every quarter we have a meeting. You know, we do a SWOT analysis. I mean, we set goals for the next quarter. We go in pretty deep, and we will also go out at that point. We go out to a restaurant and do it. We went bowling last time. We actually missed our last one because of my situation. So our next one we're gonna do actually here, and I'm gonna do a little barbecue cookout and have them hang out.
Nice.
You know, so it gets them out of that environment, and it allows, you know, because it's just like a customer, right? When a customer comes into your store, they're more uptight. When you go out to their car, they're more relaxed, right? Most customers. Same thing with
Yeah.
your employees. So it allows that. It also helps build that team and the camaraderie, and you know, it brings us together.
Yes.
We go
So
bowling or laser
gonna
tag or
I'm going to drop a trick here. Here's a trick. Customer's really, really, really pissed off. Blah, blah, blah. Can't shut him up. It's like, hey, man, do you like ice cream? And then they get confused, right? And then you take them out for ice cream and you have a discussion and they totally calm down. It's the same thing as taking your people out to a restaurant or somewhere like that, or bowling or what have you. And things change so much and you can ask different questions and get to a different point.
Keith. That's clever.
Yeah.
I like that ice cream.
Nobody
I'm gonna have to
says
try
no.
that one day. Yeah, you know, and here's the thing: is most of the time you got a pissed off customer. It's usually just a lack of communication, and you just need that person to calm down so you can communicate with them properly and fix it.
Yeah.
You know, because when people get mad because of lack of communication, they then become blinded, and it's hard to get into that communication mode.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
like
smart.
Bill always said, whenever you're in trouble, ask a question. Doesn't really matter what the question is. Just ask a question. And that stuck with me really well. And then I started asking weird questions I can't say in here. But it changes the topic of the conversation really quickly.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we're approaching 40 minutes. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I got to go.
I think the shorter the better for these. We always do about 40 minutes, but no one wants to watch that. So they probably don't make it this far.
Then they'll take that nugget, hopefully, if they got the 40 minutes in.
Yeah. But, you know, if you are still watching, you know, reach out. I'm sure, you know, Keith is more than willing to help. I'm more than willing to help. If you need guidance on what to do, you know, it's not hard. And, you know, we all, if you own a business and you have to be there, you have to fix that. You'll be happier.
Yeah, most people don't. Especially if you need to take a day off for being sick.
Right.
Kind of
Because
sick
at the end of the day, you could still always be there if you want to be, but you need to build it so you don't have to be. So if you break your ankle, you throw out your back, you have a death, you can take care of yourself. You get sick, you can take care of yourself. Because as business owners, we tend to put ourselves second or third, and we don't take care of ourselves like we should. And what's the point of owning a business if you can't take care of yourself to enjoy the business?
Exactly. Well,
I
that
should,
sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I appreciate your time, and hopefully see you next week.
I'll be here.
All right, Keith. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone, for watching.